It's about 9 o'clock in the morning on this beautiful Monday, March 4th, 2024. It's about 70 degrees, it's humid, there's a wind blowing from the south. That warm tropical Gulf air is coming up here and giving us a little hug, a warm embrace, you know. So number 42 is dead. I came to the field to find him and couldn't find him. He was covered a little bit in hay. So don't know exactly what killed him, but it's the exact same symptoms as the last guy. Just got weak, fell over, he didn't get up anymore. So I'm going to say he was injured, but in the back of my mind I'm saying no, the mom was just bad, wasn't feeding the calf for some reason, or the calf wasn't able to get nutrition. So for that reason, number 21, the mama of number 42, and also, to be fair, Dusty as well, the number 38 that died recently. Both of them are they're gonna be cold. They're gonna leave this farm. I'm gonna sell them. I'm gonna find somebody who wants them, and I don't know what's gonna happen to them. But number 21, my fattest cow with the best condition, turns out to be one of the worst moms. So you can't tell by looking at how fat a cow is how good they are. You have to look at the calves. The saying is the proof is in the pudding, right? It's not about the recipe or the cook, it's about the product. And in this case, number 21's product was faulty. So number 24's got to go as well. Her calf, so my skinniest cow, my fattest cow have to go. But number 24's calf is stealing milk from other calves. Would you not eat the ear tags? My goodness. There you are, number 21. Yeah. That's back in 2022, she had a calf that died about the same age. I attribute that to the fire, but this calf died as well. So that's just too many strikes. You know, they're not paying me to be here if they're not giving me calves. So hello, number 44. You're number 4's calf. I saw you nursing this morning. I'm going to watch you guys closer, make sure you're all nursing in good condition. Number 40's a little bit skinny for my taste, you know, so I got to keep an eye on her. I assume it's a her. Let me see if I can tell. Without going to the records, that is. I'm trying to see between the legs. No. I can't really tell, but it looks like it might not have that dangly bit. So it probably is a her. So this is a fresh bale of hay. They're going to stay here for 2 days. There are three more bales of hay to go through. So today's the 4th, the 5th. Then we're going to move them on the 6th, 7th. Then we're going to move them the 8th, 9th. And then the last bale of hay is going to be the 10th and 11th. And that puts us on the 12th. The 12th will be when we start rotating through the spring grass. It'll be a little earlier than I wanted to. I think next year I'm going to plan for starting rotations in the middle of April or early April. I'll probably plan middle of April as a kind of a worst case scenario. And that way, if things go well and the grass is ready in March, then I'm like, oh good, things went well, rather than you know, cutting it close here like I feel I am. The grass is growing. I swear a switch flipped on March 1st and the grass just started to grow, and every day I come to the field I see more and more grass, and I'm impressed with the grass I'm seeing here in this sacrificial lot that I'm abusing. I've determined that this will be this western third of the field. I think I might give them the whole third, but I need to get access to water as well, and water's along this fence line. But this western part of the field is going to be the stockpile. Once we start rotation, I think once I hit halfway down the field, so about 3 weeks into the rotation, I'm going to cut off 1/3 of this field and stop using it for grazing. Number one, because I abuse this part of the land, it needs a lot of rest to recover. And number two, because I need to keep them away from my neighbor's bull. I don't want early insemination. A couple comments that came in last night. One of my best commentators and the person that's giving me a lot of good advice. I just wish I had the ability to do everything that's recommended here. So bulls can breed at 9 months, so can heifers. So you have to get your bull calves out of the herds by 8 months or band them. Another recommendation is if the bulls have long legs, you band them. You don't keep those genes in your herd. You want short leg. I do want short leg in my herd. Leggy cows, I heard they make good milk cows because the bags can stay off the ground. Probably, I'm guessing. But in terms of meat cows, we don't want bones, we want meat. So the smaller the frame, the better. And the more efficient they can be at grazing. There is a problem with cows. They can only eat so much grass in a day. That hole in their throat is only so big, and you know, they can only bite, chew, and swallow so many times in a day. And if the cow is too big, if you have one of these monster cows, which I don't have, then that could be a problem because the cow physically can't eat enough food to maintain their body condition or to put on weight. So I want smaller frame cows that are closer to the ground. I don't really have any good examples among the cows I have here. One of the things I might do is either get a Greg Judy bull or something like that, and then just gradually introduce the genetics into the flock, into the herd here, I'm sorry. Alternatively, what I do is I sell the herd, probably what I do is I sell the herd in the autumn time, and then buy a herd whenever one becomes available, and just start from brand new, you know. These cows were good because I didn't know what I was doing at all in the beginning. I was a software developer, and I just saw a couple of videos on YouTube. Well, more than a couple of videos. But the Longhorns have been really resilient to my mismanagement, and I did have a bunch of Herefords at one point. I got rid of them because of the drought, and it just became clear that I didn't have enough grass to feed everybody, and the Herefords weren't doing very well. And I kept the Angus because they were doing okay. You know, if I'm going to try to build my own genetics, that's a multi-decade project, and I could probably get it done before I die, you know, develop a good herd with good genetics, but I have better things to do with my time. And one of the things that I'm not lacking in is cash, so I need to optimize my time. That's something that I can do, right? It's not like I'm pinching pennies here. So that's just something I'm gonna think about, is maybe just getting a new herd. And then what's the other thing I was thinking about? Oh, the bulls. How to keep the bulls separated from the cows. I would say that yes, the electric wire is not going to keep the bulls off the cows. Distance will. How much distance? The commentator recommended miles. I think that's a good idea. Miles is probably good. But then that runs into the problem with I don't have a place to keep the bulls that are miles away from here. And one of the thoughts that I had is maybe I do that rent-a-bull thing where rather than buying bulls, or maybe I buy a bull and then sell it, you know, when I'm done. So buy a bull, run it for 2 months, and then sell it. And just do that every year. Maybe I buy and sell to the same person. I don't know. I think renting a bull is probably a better idea for an operation like mine. I just don't know that there's a lot of people doing that. I can talk to some people who have bigger herds and more land, and bulls that I want. That's the issue, is there's not really, like, nobody I know in this area is running the South Pole breed. I know there's people in Texas that are doing it. I could probably look them up and find them, but you know, I don't know if there's, I don't know. I need to do more research and see if that's even possible in this area. But that's something that I think might be good for people with lower acreage like myself. I don't have a place to keep the bulls. I don't have a place to keep the rams. And you know, one of the thoughts I had with the rams is maybe I just don't keep rams. Maybe I just keep like enough rams to breed the next year. I keep them pinned up in my house. I could probably keep the rams in my backyard at my house. And then when it's time I bring them on, they breed. And then I either sell or slaughter them, you know, and then get the rams from the next crop, you know, and do something like that. That's something that I could do, you know. So I just keeping the males on the field for the long term without having them breed with the females. That's because I can't. It's kind of like cops and robbers. Like the cops only have to be right once. The robbers have to be right every single time. If they make one mistake, they're caught. You know. Whereas if the cop has a good day, the robbers are caught. You know. And that's the kind of game here. Is I have to keep the bulls off of the cows every single day of the year until I put them on the cows. You know. And so if the power system fails, or if a bull happens to cross a wire, or if something happens, a tree falls or something like that on the wire, then that's a breach, and you know, you're back to square one. That's something I need to think about. Anyway, it's a beautiful morning. It's warm. It's humid. I'm sweating even though it's like 70 degrees. And other than the calves dying, things are going well. And you know, honestly, I have so many calves. I do feel blessed, even with the things that have been going wrong. And I don't know. Maybe losing this many calves is an anomaly. Maybe it's common. Maybe I'm actually doing better than most. You know, maybe you know, that's something cattle ranchers don't tell people about, is the number of calves that die at 1 week old. And you know, the commentator mentioned that when they cut the bulls to make a steer, they die sometimes. You know, and there's kind of not much you can do to save the life of the bulls that you're banding or cutting. You know, it just happens. And you know, you go to watch these YouTube videos of people that do this their whole life. There's things that they don't tell you because it's just common knowledge. You know, they don't tell you about stuff that happens that to a normal person seeing this for the first time would just be astounded by. You know, like I didn't know that cows can eat leaves off of trees. When I first got this herd, that's what they did, is they ran over to the woods and started eating leaves off the trees. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? I've never heard of that, you know? So that's the kind of thing. And maybe this is just common, you know? I did talk with some other guys that do cattle, and they kind of looked at me like, yeah, that happens. You know, that's part of the game, you know? The one phrase that I was taught was, if you don't want to see cows die, then don't own cows, you know? They're gonna die. You know, things are going to happen, and doesn't matter how good you are at it, it's going to happen. So anyway, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to set up a new sheep pen and move the sheep. I was supposed to do it yesterday. But this move, they'll get some hay. So I'm going to give them some of the bale of the hay and get the sheep moving into a pen with 4 wires. And hopefully get all the sheep together again eventually. Guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.